Moika!
Hey!
Welcome to our podcast, Mastering Finland.
I'm Jean and I'm from California.
I'm Petra and I'm from the Czech Republic.
We're here to chat about our life in Finland. Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Hey Petra.
Hello everybody. Hello.
How's it going?
It's fine actually. I've had quite a calm day.
Yeah.
How about you?
Same. I took a much needed nap because I couldn't sleep at night, and now that the sun's rising earlier, I the nights are shorter, so I feel like I have to rush to fall asleep before the sun sets.
Yeah, it's a bit extreme. I woke up last night at 3 a.m. and the birds were singing I don't know what was happening. I don't know what's that all about, but they just don't go to sleep at all.
Crazy.
Poor things, though.
Crazy.
I don't know how they're handling that.
I know, and it's only going to get worse. But So today we thought we would talk about traveling in Finland.
Yay.
Since it's summer after all, and we may only be able to travel in Finland at this point. Who knows?
Yeah, so all foreigners who are stuck here and, want to do things in summer, this is all you need, all the tips that we sort of experienced.
And we have quite the extensive list of places that we're going to talk about. Because Petra's basically been everywhere, it turns out. She's been
I tried to
from
go
south to
around
north.
Finland, so that's that.
Yes. It's I can tell. But so hopefully this will help you in planning trips or since we're not going to be able to leave the country maybe, and we're only going to be able to explore Finland, which is actually not a bad idea either.
Yeah, I really like traveling around Finland, to be honest. However, if you really want to do a proper trip, it turns out to be as expensive as if you would go out somewhere.
I have noticed that.
Somewhere. So that's the minus of traveling in Finland.
Yeah,
but otherwise it's really beautiful, and people who don't necessarily have to go to the seaside, even though here you can if it's warm enough. But otherwise there are plenty of places to go to and have interesting summer.
There's a lot of it seems like off the beaten track types of places, like places that you wouldn't really know unless someone is telling you about it. Because when people think of Finland, they usually think of what? Like Helsinki, obviously, because it's the capital. Rovaniemi.
And then Lapland.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
These are all the places in between that people might miss. And
totally.
Let's get started. So we thought we'd go from south to north.
Yeah, hopefully we managed it all sort of according to the map. So let's see. If there are some mistakes, we are sorry and we apologize. Now our main was not geography, our main subject at university. So we just apologize to anybody who has a problem with that, but we tried our best.
Yes. So we'll start with the most obvious. Also, it's the most south, which is Helsinki.
Welcome to Helsinki.
Yes, that's where our trip starts.
It's the capital city of Finland.
Yes. I feel like I'm on a tour bus now.
Yeah, I love that. I always wanted to be a guide, so
Great, this is your audition for it.
Yeah, but Helsinki is pretty good and nice place. However, if you compare it as a capital to any other capital within the Europe, it's a bit sad. If you go to Prague and then you go to Helsinki, it's what am I doing with life? Or you go to Rome or, Paris or these sort of places where they have these massive things.
Right.
So famous. And then you go to Helsinki, you're like, oh, well, there was these 3 churches and one island, and that's basically it.
Well, there you go. That is basically a summary of Helsinki.
Yeah, but I love it because I love that it's not that big. There's still not as many foreigners visiting as there would be in any other capital around the Europe, at least. So it gives you a bit of space to explore.
Yes.
And
I think most of them go to Lapland anyway. And I think Helsinki is just kind of
True.
we're here, so might as well. But it's never the main part of the trip.
Yeah, True. But nowadays, I think there's more and more like visitors coming to Finland because it's this like a new unexplored thing. So people really want to see what it is all about, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, what is there around? Like basically, all is packed within city center. There are some of the stuff a bit out of city center, but not too much.
For the most
which makes
part,
it really easy.
For the most
for
part,
people to
everything
come.
is walking distance, and when I'm traveling with a bigger group or even with just 3 people, like I like to use the Yango taxi app, which it's really affordable. Like they're €2 rides, €3 rides, and
That's surprising for Finland.
exactly. And because actually it would be more expensive to go on public transportation and each pay a ticket, so that is totally worth it. I think let's see, other than like the seaside or the harbor in Helsinki,
the harbor it's called Tori, is like the main square actually.
Oh yeah,
which is quite confusing, but that's just how it is. So it's like the main square. There's this beautiful sort of like park ongoing through that part, which is really nice. It's called Espalandi, which you can find cute cafes there and little shops and statues and sort of things like that if you want to get this vibe when you are coming to Helsinki.
But it's a very short street.
Yeah, of course, it's nothing like, in Paris or wherever.
Yeah.
Don't expect
it's like one block, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But,
But
and also this fancy shop,
nice.
the few fancy shop.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And also they have near there, next to the water, the market hall, which is where you can find different food stalls. And a lot of like tourists go there to buy like, I don't know, they sell things like reindeer chips, and like fresh salmon. And they also have a Vietnamese stall in there, which I find really random, but I go there for like spring rolls sometimes.
Yeah.
But
it's beautiful and it's really old building. In Finnish, it's called Kauppahalli.
Yes.
And it really gets you into this like old school vibe, and I really like going there just to have coffee.
And
sometimes.
They have this place in it seems like every major Finnish city, correct? Like they had it in Turku.
Because that's what they did in past. There were no extra shops, so that's
that was
all
like
the
their
butchers
main
came and like the people who grew vegetables and stuff, and they just sell it to each other.
So it's like a market. It's an indoor market.
It is. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, so that's nice.
And then from the main square that we are there, like it's very close to the market, and then there's also this outer market around that square a bit. And then from there you can take ferries to different places. There are these tiny ferries for a few people, but you can go to the Korkeasaari Zoo, which is also ferry away, which is zoo like on the island, which is really cool because I don't think it's quite common to have a zoo on an island. And it's quite a nice zoo, and if you have extra time, it's not really expensive to go in, and it's really nice. I really liked it. I was there like maybe 3 times already. So yeah, that's also one thing you can go to. Then there is a few islands that I've never been to, but then there is Suomenlinna, my super favorite place in the whole Finland.
That place is really nice.
I love it. I've been there like 6 times, maybe even more.
Wow.
And it's just the best place. If you are a fan of like nature combined with history, then it's the place for you. You can just hang around the island. There's no entrance to the island. You can just take the ferry. The ferry costs basically, I think it's €5 return ticket. Don't be surprised that if nobody checks your ticket, because that's just how it works in Finland. Just get on the ferry with your ticket and that's it, and get back. And it's just so easy. And you can just wander around the island. There are beautiful like underground paths through this, like in past it was used, I'm saying we were, now I'm all Finnish, but Finland was connected to Sweden, ruled by Sweden, and to protect it from Russia, they created this island, on this island, this sort of like a, how is it called?
Google calls it a sea fortress.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's sea fortress. It was supposed to protect basically Finland from Russia, because Russia, obviously, Tallinn and Estonia, which is on the other side of the sea, it was in as a part of Russia. So if somebody was coming they could protect themselves and that fortress on the island, that's the place they used it for. And it's really beautiful, really historical. You see all the sea there, and like
all around
sunsets and sunrise, amazing. I mean,
it's very charming, and it's a nice like day trip idea, totally. And it's nothing stressful. Like it's just a nice walk through the island.
And in summer they have also a few cafes open there, so it's like this really nice vibe. And I just love going there in summer because you can just have picnic on any of those like huge rocks, and it's just amazing. Like I would recommend it to really anybody. Nice.
I remember looking at pictures from that trip, and those are some of the most picturesque pictures that I've taken with my family.
Yeah, totally.
So then we got those islands, and then back on the square, there's the line of like all those buildings, those important buildings, the Parliament building. And, that's where they have that annual like Christmas party, right? Where they do the handshaking thing.
Yeah, I think it's there. It's the President's Palace,
the blue building?
It's the President's Palace.
The President's Palace, yeah. And then right next or close to those row of buildings, there's also that Orthodox church, which is really pretty. Like if you look at it from a distance.
Totally. It's all red. It's really beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all red. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and even if you have, sometimes it is open, but it's now, I think, quite rare. But it is open a few times per week, and inside is, you can imagine this Orthodox church, so it's all gold and like there is, like everything is made of gold, but really beautiful.
Yeah, especially the outer view of it up against like a blue sky,
totally,
it's just so beautiful.
And also like for people who want something more like newish, but at the same time traditional, like right at the Tori, there is that square. There is the sauna resort, sort of. It's all wooden, you won't miss it. And there you can go and swim outside in a swimming pool, which is a bit warmer, but you can also jump into the actual sea, when you get off the sauna. I've never been there, but I know people who have been and they said it's really cool. So if you fancy that, then that's the place to go.
True.
And then, of course, there is another church, the beautiful, white, amazing church that I love so much. Yeah, it's called Tuomiokirkko in Finnish, and it's just amazing. There's these huge stairs, and inside it's quite bare. There is not much in it, but from outside, it's just beautiful, majestic, amazing white church.
And it's like up on kind of not a hill, but you have to like go up all these steps to get there. So like it's very much, projected to the top. And that is where, if anyone knows the Finnish DJ, do you know what I'm
going to say? Say it.
Darude, I don't know how to say it in Finnish, but he, that was the setting of one of his music videos. What was it called? Sandstorm.
Was it that? Sandstorm. Also this MC Boomfang, the very freestyler, that song. Do you know that? People know that. The video was also taken partially there and partially on Finnish metros, like a subway, so it's quite nice.
No way. Yeah. That's hilarious. Now that we know these places, it's like, it's my goodness. Funny. So cool. Okay, so there's that church, and
and also from the church, actually, when you're on the stairs, on top of the stairs, you can see the ferry. From the seaside, like it's because you can see over the buildings, because as you said, it's on the top of the hill.
Exactly.
It's really cool that you see this massive boat just there hanging out. And it's like, I remember my mom, when she came to visit, she was like, I've never seen such a big boat. I can't get it. This is crazy.
That is true. And all the buildings, like there aren't any skyscrapers in Helsinki. Like everything's relatively
the more you go out small. From the city center, if you go to like west and east, then you get, but city center, no skyscrapers there. And then there are a few other places to visit. There are museums, like quite a few museums. I was recently in the National History Museum, and it was quite beautiful, actually. It's quite small building, but it's all packed there, and you can see really into this like Finnish nature and all these animals that live
Is it close
there. It's close to Kampi.
Oh, okay. No,
It's close to Kampi, which is also pretty central, and train station, the central train station.
And the bus station, yeah.
But I've never been there before. But yeah, recently I got to go there, and it's prettier than I expected, to be honest. Also, then there is a national museum very close to that.
I think that's the one I've been to.
It's very close to that. It's also quite nice, but I prefer, to be honest, the one with the animals and like history of the nature.
Animals,
It was pretty, but that's probably because of my interests, to be honest.
But nature is definitely their specialty, I feel.
But both I would definitely recommend, and it's not that expensive to get in. And also there is this thing here in Helsinki that I think it's the last Friday of the month or the first Friday of the month. No, I'm not sure. You have to check it on the website. There's free entrance. So if it's Friday, and of course every museum has differently. Some of them they have limited hours. Some of them they have like whole day, and you can just go in for free into the museum. So if you're resident in Helsinki or something like that, or you're planning to go to Helsinki from other city in Finland, maybe plan it around this day. Because you can go for free in all museums, which is not bad at all.
Yes. And I think even in Jyväskylä, actually, there was a museum day, as they called it, where it was free. And I think there it was on a Monday or something like that. But definitely worth going for free if you can. Why not?
And then there is Oodi, right? It's this new, huge library. It was built for the 100 years anniversary of Finland. And it's massive. It's just, something you would not imagine that library would look like, I would say.
It looks futuristic. Like, would you say so from the outside?
Yeah, it looks like a big boat, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the inside is very like modern and obviously spacious. Like Finland likes their space and openness and all the stuff they have.
It's amazing. You can do digital design. You can use VR there. You can use even like sewing machine.
Sewing.
It's like, how?
They have all of that, and if you have a library card, you can use it for free,
exactly.
correct?
And some of things you can even book without that, to be honest, because we actually recorded few podcasts from there with Jean.
I was about to say.
You just have an account. It's not even a library card, and you can just book a room and work from there or do whatever you need to do.
It's really nice. They even have that 3D printer thing.
Yeah.
You know, the pen or whatever it is.
And all together with all of this, they have also the books. So don't worry. There are books as well.
They actually do have books also.
Lots of books.
They also have the cafe, right? On the top floor where the books
and the
are.
bottom floor as well.
Oh, okay.
And on the on the top floor where are the books, they also have this like kids part where like parents are hanging out with kids, and it's quite busy actually. Go there.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very nice though.
Yeah, totally. And maybe one last thing that I would want to say when it comes to Helsinki is that they have way more islands than you would imagine. You know, we talk about you mentioned few islands, but they have so many, and it goes around the whole coast, you know, to the east. So if you have somebody, or if you have, you know, Finnish family, you know, or if you are part of Finnish family and they have boat, because Finnish people quite often do have.
So nice.
It's amazing. I did it. I went to a few islands like that, close to Sipoo. Which we get on, and Porvoo actually, which we're gonna mention.
Oh, that's how you got there?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh,
it's just so beautiful, and all the islands, there are so many of them next to each other. You can just go there. There are like barbecue places ready. You can just use it for free. You can take, you know, you can just have a like nice swim in the sea, and then a little bit of barbecue, and then continue on the boat. Some of them, they have even small cafes on it, so it's just so cute. So if you have a chance, convince somebody to take you there. So because it's amazing.
Choose your friends wisely.
Yeah, totally.
Choose someone with a boat.
Good recommendation. Yeah.
That's so nice though. I've always wanted to do that, like travel
amazing.
Around Finland.
Yeah, I mentioned Sipoo, which that's basically, there is this huge national park which is super close to Helsinki, and it's called Sipoonkorven National Park, Kansallispuisto in Finnish. and it's beautiful. It's just so beautiful. It's like you're in Helsinki and you can be there within basically 35 minutes by car. You need a car for that though, but it's just amazing. You're just there. You can hike, you can bike there. It's so beautiful. So I would also recommend to everybody to go and visit that nature because yeah, that's...
I think that's also the thing with like these hidden places. It really helps to have your own car.
Yeah, totally.
If it's not those bigger cities, but
yeah,
I'm sure it's definitely worth the trip.
There are many hidden places like that around Helsinki and like Porvoo. Sure. I had a chance to live in Sipoo actually for 1 year with the car, and I just look at the map and I was like, hey, this is the seaside, this looks cool. And I found so many places, so many beautiful places that I would not dream of. So if you have a chance to have a car, just look at the map. Whatever coastline or national park or whatever park there is green, it's going to be beautiful.
There's something there.
So just go. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be worth it. So
yes,
and that counts for whole Finland, you know.
Yeah.
It's just great. That's the good part. But yeah, we can get to Porvoo.
Yes. Oh, I loved Porvoo.
It's so cute, isn't it?
Yes. It's a coastal town, right?
Yes.
In the south. It's a very charming town. And there's like red wooden houses, like different colored houses.
Yeah.
And cute like cafes. It's just very charming.
And these shops and cafes.
Very picturesque.
They are like these tiny little things. It's like this whole old town is made of these cute little shops and cute little cafes and restaurants, and all is just amazing. And there's actually this great cafe which makes amazing ice cream, but I just can't remember the name right now. But if I remember,
you're teasing us.
we will add the link to this episode if I find it. Cause
there's gonna be so many links.
It's the best ice cream you've ever had. I'm telling you, at least in Finland for sure.
Okay, well, cool. But yeah, definitely also worth a day trip if you're in Helsinki. Definitely worth it. Yes.
And there is a bus going there, so it's super easy.
Yeah, and it's like an hour and a half. I think it was, or an hour even.
I would say maybe even around an hour. It's not that long. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't long at all. So it's totally doable trip. So then, should we move on to
Yeah, I think
Turku?
so. Let's do it. Okay. Yay, Turku.
So, Turku. Oh my gosh, yeah, Petra. Your trips to Turku from Jyväskylä.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Guys, you would not believe though. I don't even know if I should mention because like people are going to think that I'm insane. But basically, I started dating this guy, and he lived in Turku. He's still my boyfriend, by the way, so don't worry about that.
So it was all worth it.
It was worth it, but I don't know if I would do it again.
We don't know how she did it, honestly. It wasn't worth it,
but it was crazy. I don't know how I did it. So basically, it is all together. Like, it's 4.5 hours on the bus to get there from Jyväskylä to Turku. Yep. Then you count all this traveling to the bus station from both sides. So basically, it's 6 hours journey to get to your love, right?
And she would go on weekends. Like, this is dedication.
So I did it quite a lot. And
yes,
I spent so many hours on the bus that I don't even know how I did that. But I did it. It was worth it. But
it was worth it.
It was worth it, but it's crazy, and I don't think I would ever do it again.
I seriously don't know how you did it so often. Like, I remember like going from the Turku airport back to Jyväskylä. I thought that was just like the ride from hell.
Yeah.
And I did that like once a year. So seriously,
it was quite a thing. But yeah, you know,
very intense.
What wouldn't you do for love? Right.
Exactly. Exactly. It's all worth it in the end. But okay, so Turku is wasn't Turku also
the capital?
Used to be a capital?
Yeah, it used to be a capital, under Sweden, because it's like super close to Sweden. And there is this basically almost only one castle in all Finland. There might be a few ones hidden. There is one in Savonlinna, but it's a bit different. And
in Hämeenlinna.
Oh yeah, Hämeenlinna, that's
I've
true.
Heard.
That's
I haven't been there, but
but this one is the famous where people go to, I would say.
Yes, but I would say lower your expectations.
Yeah, yes.
Quite honestly.
I mean, I went there. I remember when I went there for the first time, right? That was so funny. And we are a group of 12 people from Czech Republic, where we have like over 700 castles on a tiny little land. And then most of them are just amazing. And then you come into that castle in Turku and you're like, are you kidding me? Is it like a real castle, or is it just like pretend to be a castle, or what's that all about?
The thing is, this was, if I remember correctly, reading the history of it, it was a castle and then it like changed into like a fortress.
Yeah.
And it was kind of used for a lot of various things, but it was mainly to defend the city. So it wasn't like your typical like quote unquote like princess castle or anything fancy like that.
Totally.
But it's very bare.
It is.
How would you describe it? Like,
it is. I think it's gone better, to be honest. I was there for the first time almost 10 years ago, and it was genuinely bare. And now, I think they put quite a few things in. So now you can actually really read about stuff and see. However, quite many things are just in Finnish and Swedish. So there were some things that I was lucky that I was like, oh yeah, I know some Finnish, so I can read a bit more about things, because the English was quite like super short summary of some things, not all, but some things. Yeah. But
I think they've added enough English, like to, I think, because what they do now is like they print out the translations in different languages, and you just read it walking around.
Yeah.
So.
But it's all right. But you know what? When you live in Finland for 5 years and you are like, you love history like I do, coming from Czech Republic castles, then you appreciate it actually, You would not believe this. But coming there after such a long time of living here, I actually was happy to go to castle, and I didn't care if it was a bit bare. So, that's the other side of things. So just, let's not complain all the way through.
Yeah, sometimes you can't compare things. Yeah. It's just contextually.
Yeah. And it's really beautiful.
Appreciate it.
The way to castle, you can walk it, but it's like 3 kilometers, so it's like a proper walk.
It's a different history. We should say that. That also obviously has an effect on that. But so other than the castle, the only other thing I could think of is the church. I don't know what it's called, but...
Oh yeah, I know which one. Yeah, I think it's also Tuomiokirkko as in every other city. It's like, basic church.
Is it like the main Lutheran church of that city?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So that's quite, that's true. That's quite good. And also there is this aquamarine museum close to the castle actually, which we forgot to mention. And you can go in. Yeah, you can go in, and there is like some old school stuff and related to aquamarine life and boats and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting.
So that's also there. And what I love about Turku is when you have the main river coming through the city, there are all these cute cafes, and it has sort of Porvoo vibe a bit there. Which is like a sort of old school cute thing. And I really just went a few times and just explored and went into a random cafe, and you can find amazing places. They're just hidden, really. They look like you think that you see everything, but there are things hidden within, like behind corners and stuff, little cafes, and it's just so cute.
Yeah, those are the best ones.
Totally. And also you can take ferries to different islands, because of course Finland has a million islands. So there is also ferry to go to different islands that you can take from the city center.
Because Turku has the archipelago.
Yeah.
Me and our other friend, we went to Ruisalo. Or Ruisalo. By bus though.
Yeah.
It was pretty close. It was like a 30-minute like public bus ride from the city. So that was also really nice. It's just lots of space and water and more nature.
True.
Yeah. So that's Turku. Turku is definitely worth a visit.
But it's like really nice one day visit again. I don't think you really need more time.
I don't think so. Unless you really want to take your time and
like go to half of the islands or something.
But basically you could see everything in one day.
And close to that there is Naantali, which is like maybe 40 minutes by bus, 50 max
Oh,
from the
okay.
city center. And it's really pretty. And there's also this Moomin world there, which we're probably going to talk about later.
Oh, that's
in some
where it
other
is.
episode, but it's there, and it's really pretty town. So if you want some like tiny little trip from Turku, I think that's worth it as well.
Is the Moomin World basically the main attraction there, would you say?
Yeah, I guess so. It's quite a
Okay.
little town, really.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are people living there.
Yeah.
It's
of
not
course.
just like Moomin World.
No, it's
Okay.
not just a Moomin world town. No, don't worry.
Okay.
It's real. It's real.
It's real. This is fiction.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I did not know that. That's good to know.
Yeah. And then basically close to that, like a bit above Turku, you can find a place called Rauma, which is, it has this old wooden part of the city, town, and it's a UNESCO heritage, which is quite, rare in Finland.
Yes.
And I was there almost 10 years ago, though, but it was really pretty, and it was really very traditional. So you can see like people just doing some crocheting. They were selling like homemade products, like made, that the grandmas made or knitted or whatever. And it was just really traditional town.
Would you say the population is a bit older there?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, might have changed, but I would think so. It's like very traditional, old school city that has really nice vibe, though.
Yeah.
So
it sounds kind of like it would be kind of like a Porvoo.
Yeah, sort of.
Does it have Porvoo vibes?
Well, sort of. It's a bit. It's not like you don't see the water there and everything, so
okay.
Different thing. But yeah, it's really cute little town. So if you're somewhere around that place, around like Turku and this area, I guess that's, if you fancy like a 1-day trip, maybe half a day trip, then it's really, really nice place to go to.
The UNESCO heritage is the town itself in Rauma.
Well, there is a part, a wooden part of the town, and that's the UNESCO.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like city center part. Yeah. Really.
I think I've seen pictures. It's really pretty and charming.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just repeating those words, pretty and charming.
Well, that's good. We have good adjectives for Finland. So.
Yes.
Yeah. And then place I've been to or spent a month there, it was called Pori. It's a bit above Rauma again. Very on the line with Tampere, which we're going to mention after. And Pori is like sort of basic city. There is nothing really special within the city, I would say. But close by, I would say maybe it's like 30 minutes by bus or car. There is this place called Yterin Hiekaranta, which is amazing beach. But like beach you've never seen. It doesn't look like Finland at all. It has this sand. It's like sand, big sand, hills and everything. And there's this sea next to it. And it's just a place like I remember when I went there, I was like, this doesn't look like Finland at all. It's a huge beach and sand and like everywhere. It's just really beautiful. And thing.
Now I'm curious. I want to see a picture of it.
So if you're somewhere around there, or if you live in Tampere and you fancy a bit of, like you have a car and you would fancy a bit of trip, that's amazing spot to go to, and it just looks beautiful.
I just Google imaged it. It really is. It does not look like Finland. Because there's sand. That's why.
But like sandy hills and stuff, it's just really, really weird.
Cool. Yeah. All right, and so then we go on to Tampere.
Yeah. So what do you have from Tampere?
Well, the reason I was there was because I was seeing a guy from there.
Yay!
And yay! Yeah, great times. But yeah, I just kind of realized, like, I think that's when I realized, like, all Finnish cities kind of have the same layout or the same things, like they'll have a city center, they'll have these stores, and
that's true.
It didn't really strike me, if I'm going to be honest, as I didn't see anything different or new per se. I know they have an amusement park, but it was winter at that time, so it wasn't working when I saw it. But what about you? What things do you
I actually love Tampere, to be honest, but it's because I spent there weeks of my life.
Oh,
I was babysitting
just
there.
traveling or?
No,
Oh, okay.
Because I was babysitting for this family, and the mom was teaching at the university for some part. So we were commuting there, and we had even an apartment there for that bit. So I spent there quite a few weeks with the kids. And
Nice.
yeah, I think if you spend a few weeks there, you find these places that like give the cool vibe of the city. So there is this like, it looks like a factory town. You can see these old factories with chimneys, and
That's
there's
true.
like these
I
little
remember
cute
that.
walks around, like across tiny bridges that you can like take through the factories, which is really cool. There is also like Finlayson, which is the Finnish brand of clothing and other stuff design that it was established there. So there's a big factory, and you can go and there's shop, and it's quite beautiful. Also, when you basically go from the city center on the way to this, as you said, this amusement park, it's called Särkäniemi. There is also this big tower in that amusement park, which I will mention after. But on the way from the city center through sort of this Finlayson factory, then you hit this beautiful wooden tiny little, like a village, but it's not a village, but it's just few wooden houses. And there is like a little cafe. They're selling some like handmade chocolate there. It's this cute little place. Definitely Porvoo vibe when it comes to these little shops again. And it's just, I like found it randomly, and it's really beautiful. And so then you continue and you get to the Särkäniemi amusement park. I've never been there when it was open, to be honest. Like the amusement park. But the tower has a planetarium. So you can go in, and it's really beautiful. They have also a aquarium, and yeah, then there is this, like, you can go up by the lift, and you get on the top of the tower, and it's really beautiful.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been there so many times. But then and there's all the lakes around, and you can really see so far away from there, and it's just amazing. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that.
Is there a viewpoint in Helsinki?
There is this. Well, there is this restaurant that is like the tallest place. It's actually in the city center.
I've heard there is like a bar. Were you telling me about it? Like on the roof?
Yeah. And it's actually closed now, and it opens in summer again, and it has amazing view. But I just, again, can't remember the name, but we will hint it somewhere in the description. Sorry, guys.
There's also a Clarion Hotel, which has a view. They have an outdoor swimming pool. Yeah. Which is not that big a deal. You can't do laps there. It's really just for the view. So there's a view there, but
let's not skip between the cities, I guess.
Sorry. I was just like, because we first talked about the viewpoints in Tampere, and I was like, wait, did we have viewpoints in other cities?
Yeah, makes sense.
But yes, so
let's go to Jyväskylä, our favorite little cute city.
Yes, it's the city that I will always love to go back to. That was my first love, I must say, in Finland.
It was the same for me.
I think this one is going to be kind of biased. Although maybe not, because I think we'll be the first ones to say there's not much to do there unless you have your friends and you're studying there. It's 30% student population. So if you're not studying, I don't know what else you'd be doing there. And I tried looking for a job there, and obviously unsuccessful.
Nah, there are so many students, and Finnish students as well. So as a foreigner, I don't think anybody has a chance really, unless you know somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah. And Jyväskylä, there's, I guess, just a city center. That's really mainly where all the places to visit are. There's Harju, which is a hill and a viewpoint. Actually, you can go up on the elevator and go to the viewpoint. It's really nice. Just another viewpoint. And there's Laajavuori, which was really close to where Petra and I lived, the student housing. It was like one bus stop away, and that's a ski resort. And what else? There's the university.
Yeah, there's the lake
we went to. There's lakes,
center, and sort of
the harbor. Right? Yeah, like everything
next
that comes with the
next
lake.
to the city center. And there's a harbor, and I love that place. That's beautiful. And you can do like a nice lap around that lake and see the university, see the sort of part of the harbor. And I think it has like a cool vibe, to be honest. And it's lots of nature as usually in Finland.
As usual.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also Pori, as you said, the skiing resort. You can go there in the summer, and it's amazing to go uphill to hike there. I've done it many times. And to just hike up the hill and you just see the whole beautiful scenery, because there are not many mountains in Finland. Not at least not like south and like middle Finland. All is like close to like borders with Norway. But otherwise there is not many mountains. So you can really see a lot from there. And it's just good exercise as well.
That's true. That sounds nice. I guess that's Jyväskylä.
Yeah.
There's not much else there,
there is not much there. And that's when my mom came to visit, I was sort of looking for places that we could go to. And I got a recommendation from my friends that there is a little tiny town called Petäjävesi, which is like maybe 25 minutes by bus from Jyväskylä. And it has this super old wooden church. It's all wooden, and it's also UNESCO World Heritage.
Okay, there we go. Another UNESCO site.
Yeah, so it's another part of that. You have to actually make an appointment because it's not open. So you have to email to that person who is in charge of that, and they'll open it specifically for you.
How charming.
And you just have like this private sort of exhibition of this old. And it was also, I remember she told us that during the war, the Second World War, there are like people hiding, and it was sort of like a place like that as well.
Is it expensive?
But otherwise there is nothing. No. I think it was like, I don't know. It was not. I mean, we were 3 people who went there, and it was not expensive at all, really.
Okay, cool.
It's worth it. However, we went there in winter, and there is nothing else. Literally nothing else. There was just like one cafe we found after bed. And then we ended up there. We ate. We waited for the bus back because obviously it's little tiny town, so the bus doesn't go that often as well.
So it leaves from Jyväskylä?
Yeah.
The bus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we waited for a bus. We walked around because, again, nature was beautiful and everything, but otherwise there was nothing. So we waited in a cafe, I think. Maybe it was like a petrol station. I don't remember. Did you have
to call in advance to open the cafe?
No. That was actually surprisingly open. I was shocked, though. But yeah, so then we just took a bus back home. But it's a nice, like, sort of half a day, few hours trip if you don't know what to do in Jyväskylä, but you have to reserve it in advance. So just remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So then you were also in Kuopio, which is more towards the east.
Yeah.
From Jyväskylä. The only reason I was there was to go to Migri and to get to the immigration office to get my student permit renewed. So I didn't really explore much.
The only reason I was there, again, my mom and sister came to visit, and we had no clue what we were going to do. So I just planned trips to random cities that I haven't been to, just to sort of get to know Finland, to be honest. And they were also excited. So we did that, and it was quite nice. But again, it's like half a day, and it's quite far from Jyväskylä. So maybe, I'm not sure if it's worth it like that. But it was a cute little, trip. If you're with your family or friends, it doesn't really matter. But
if you really have nothing to do, I think I personally would not go back there just to visit. But if you really have nothing else to do.
But there is this main square, which is quite nice. There's again this market, Kaupahalli, where there is this inside, and you can get the coffee, and people are selling fish and meat and vegetables, and the same thing as we talked that was in Helsinki. And then there is this, you can do pretty nice hike. There's another hill of Finland, but you can do pretty nice hike. And on the top of the hill, there is a huge tower, basically very similar one to the one that is in Tampere. But because it is on a hill, you know, it makes it a bit more interesting because you can see really like further away. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was basically what we did. so you can see how much was there. But it was quite pretty because we did a hike and it was, you know, winter. So my mom and sister got to see some snow because at that point in Czech, there was no snow.
Oh, okay.
So we enjoyed it and we had lots of fun.
Oh, that's good. I guess it also depends who you're going with. Like sometimes it's just about the companion, not always about the place. All right. Well, I think this is a good place to cut this episode in half because there's so much more to cover.
Yeah.
So we're going to stop it here, and in the next episode, we're going to cover the northern part.
Yay!
And some other areas. Yes. So stay tuned.
And hope you enjoyed. And see you next week with traveling too.
Yes.
Okay,
bye.